Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
This evening we discussed a number of issues, and of course not forgetting to make mention that the story regarding the former president Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who died in South Africa, has now finally come to a closure, with a judgment coming in favor of the Zambian government, in which a direction has been given that ECL's remains should be repatriated back into the country for burial. Now this evening I host a man who is well known to your screens. He is a national asset, national figure, and of course a Catholic priest who is being described as a voice for the voiceless on matters of social justice. A social teacher who is fearless to men, as they have described him, when it comes to issuing statements regarding the country. However, he has in some past found himself in trouble after being summoned by the Zambia police, with the recent one having been the summon of the Ndola police, who had earlier issued a statement, but of course later on it was reversed after there was too much pressure coming from other stakeholders and also the church itself. His name is Father Andrew. He joins me on set discussing a number of issues. Father, good evening and welcome to the program on the KBN TV.
Good evening, Innocent. I'm very happy to be with you, and it's a privilege that you have called me so that I share some things. Fearless, I have a lot of fear, but I think somebody should say some things.
Right.
Yeah, we cannot all just be silent. Yeah, there should be some sacrificial lambs.
That's great.
So thank you very much. I thank all the technicians who are doing and put in place this. Thank you to have me on this program.
Thank you so much. And let's get into it. I know that we've had this arrangement to have this conversation, you and I. I think we began to arrange for this. It's been about 4 months or so.
About that, yeah.
Yes,
when
4
we
or 5
met,
months.
yeah,
Right.
yes, Innocent. About that, yeah.
Let's get into it. We will begin from the bigger issue where this country is in mourning up to now, after the demise of the former head of state, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. The body stayed for about 2 months without being buried. There were some, back and forth from the ECL family and also the government, and eventually the Pretoria High Court has given a direction on how we can move forward. What is your reflection, first of all, on the former head of state, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and also what eventually took the center stage about his burial?
Yeah, I can quote from the point of view from some time immemorial. Dr. Frederick Chiluba declared the country as a Christian nation. And of course, he declared that country as a Christian nation, but may he so rest in peace. There was some politicking in him as well. Just as now our politicians are using Christianity for their own ends, not because they believe in God, just because they want to make something. And from that time, he quoted Zambia as a Christian nation. These themes went into the constitution. And from then on, we are quoted as a Christian nation all over the world as people who are Christians. And then the late president, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, propagated this. He actually started now a day of prayer, which we started going, and people were going, civil servants, taxpayers' money was being spent and so forth. And we were praying. And it was a holiday, and everybody, it was called prayer and fasting. And the president who is here has also continued to say, we are a Christian nation. There was something that he said about the day of prayer, yes, but of course he believes and he's a Christian. He calls himself an elder in church. Yeah. Now, where am I going with all those views, Innocent?
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, what is the end product of prayer?
Right.
Where should prayer lead us? When we pray, we fast and we pray and we pray. It is very empty if at the end of it we can't reconcile. If at the end of it we can't bring our views together. That's why now I believe that most politicians, they cheat the people of God. And they say things that they don't mean. And they just do these things for political purposes. Because again, we are talking about this one mistreating this one. We said, okay, HH mistreated Edgar Lungu. Again, we can also say Edgar Lungu mistreated HH in a way.
Exactly.
Because they were rivals, political rivals, and so forth. And it went on like that. But again, I come back, Innocent, to the view that what is the end product of prayer and fasting? If we believe that we are a Christian nation, is there forgiveness in our hearts? Is there where we can now come back together to say, these things have happened, but after they have happened, should we reconcile? And in fact, Zambian culture, what does it say about a funeral? A funeral is there because what disagreements have happened between the HH, maybe not point HH, but between the government and the family of Edgar Lungu, is what happens in families. But it's the funerals that apparently as Africans bring us together. At the funeral, you meet your enemies, you eat with them, you do what? Sometimes reconciliation starts there. So deep down, I was a very sad person. I did say something, cancel the nation. I think you saw my clips about bringing Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, burying him as a statesman, honoring him as other presidents have been honored, and burying him at Freedom Park where they bury the other presidents. So this can't go on. It's unheard of, although the judgment has been passed, but it has taken long. It has, the world has watched us, and we are proclaiming we are a Christian nation and we are praying. So for me, we are making noise, just as the Bible in James in other verses says that, you know, prayer without works is dead. We cannot pray and pray and pray and fail to come and reconcile and come together and do something honorable. There are issues regarding Edgar Chagwa Lungu's death. There are issues now of witchcraft. Now, how do you combine the two, Innocent? Witchcraft and Christianity. How do you combine the two? Where that now? Apparently, I feel now personally. Don't quote me. This is my personal thing. I feel that both presidents are fearing something, and we can now start asking questions. Why is our president not in State House? Is it witchcraft again? Why is there? Are they renovating his house using taxpayers' money? Is it witchcraft again? Why are people fearing to be in State House? Why can't they call me to go and have mass there and bless the State House? They call me, I'll remove the demons for them, and they shift. Because if they are scared of that, we are not Christians, Innocent. And let that clause of Christian nation be removed from the Constitution, so that we remain pagans, because this is the portrayal. We've portrayed ourselves as pagan on this issue. I don't know what else I should say about that issue, but I feel we are all aggrieved, but it has taken too long to bury our president.
You don't succumb to the notion that there is nothing wrong for President Hakainde Hichilema to stay at his community house as opposed to him going to Nkwazi House or State House. You don't succumb to that?
I don't.
Right.
I don't. State House is there. If they wanted to make another State House, let them make another State House, but it should be State House. Every morning, I've spent the night near somewhere there. Every morning, those roads are closed because the president has to go. Every morning, people are late for work. And when the president moves, it takes a lot of things. It takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of resources for the country. And the renovations that have happened in his house. What are you going to do after he's out of power? How are we going to retain that money? All that is not good. I wanted to say something about Edgar Lungu again,
Yes,
concerning the body taking time there.
Yeah.
I want to ask also, because there are payments being made there. The first month that the body stayed in the morgue and the logistics at the funeral, they costed 1 million. Okay? The government is going to pay that. The second month, we are now in the second month. So we are saying the government is going to pay 2 million out of taxpayers' money towards that. Leave that alone. Let's talk about the Attorney General. How many allowances is he getting for being there? They are getting money. How many, all these lawyers who are going there to represent what? Are they happy with the status quo? Do they want, and probably there are some people who wanted this to take long because now it is about money. But I tell you, and as Christians, we don't make money over the death of someone. We do this for the service. Now, they are saying that there is no money in the coffers of government. Go and ask them how much they are using for that funeral. Ask them how much they are going to reimburse the family of Edgar Lungu. What are they going to do? When are we going to sort out our issues in the country? And then if money is spent like that, ask President HH how much they are using. Give him a call after this interview. Ask him how much they are using for that funeral. Money, taxpayers' money. What they are using now is my money. I pay tax. It's your money, innocent. It's our money as Zambia. So this is a poor country, called a poor country, where majority of people are in poverty. There is no employment for young people. Some of them are my nephews. They don't work. They don't have jobs because our country has been run down for some time. The people, we have a lot of street kids out there, and we have all this, and that money should have been used for the better. Now, is this a country only for the rich to enjoy? Is this a country that can waste resources like that and forget about the needy people? So I don't succumb to a lot of issues.
Why
I'm sorry to say that. I know some people will be annoyed with me after the interview if they hear it. But we have to talk, right? We have to air out our views.
Why shouldn't then maybe blame the ECL family for having held on to the body, the remains of ECL for 2 months?
Yeah.
Why can't we exempt the government? So maybe the government was right, and it was the ECL family that remained adamant by not wanting ECL to be buried back in Zambia. Who was at fault here?
You know, it won't help us
Right.
to point hands at each other. And in my talk, I'm talking half-half.
Right.
I'm blaming the government. I'm blaming the family. I am saying these two have failed to reconcile.
Right.
And again, go back to our laws in Zambia.
Yeah.
What happens when a head of state dies? When Dr. Kenneth Kaunda died, he brought the nation together. By his death, he brought tribalism down.
Right.
By his death, there were no division. What of Edgar Lungu's death? Now, I'm not blaming anything because a lot of things were said after his death. Even what he said, I was not there. When they are saying he said, my colleague should not view my body. Who said, and we don't know if it was said, because it was said after his death, posthumously. Those words were uttered. So again, I would say Edgar Lungu's family was misled by people like Given Lubinda. That man has made a mistake, and that man was using that for political reasons. I hope he hears this. Yeah, because he was misled not only by him, but by other people who were political at that particular moment. Again, I come to the nation and to say, we don't politicize a funeral. We bury the dead with the honor, with the love that is supposed to be given to the dead. When a funeral happens, forget about party regalia. Forget about anything else. This one we are talking about was a father of the nation. He made a lot of mistakes, as we make a lot of mistakes. But we should have buried him with honor, with love, with respect. Politics should come afterwards. And I am avoiding your question.
Right.
I do not want to point at any wrong. I can say, if this is time to reflect, the Edgar Chagwa family should reflect upon the wrongs that they have done to the people and to themselves, and the UPND government should reflect upon what they did to Edgar Lungu. But they should all think about it.
You've been around for quite a while, Father.
Have been around, yeah.
Yes. Preaching social justice
Yes.
in Zambia,
Yes.
and of course beyond the country Zambia.
Yes.
When you look at in your activism for social justice, speaking on behalf of what we call the voiceless,
The voiceless,
the marginalized. Exactly. Down 4 years down the line of the UPND or President Hakainde Hichilema in power,
Yes.
when it comes to the aspect of uniting the country, UPND party came under the premise of uniting the country, number one, and then eventually developing the nation.
Yeah.
Let's come to the unit of this nation. Where are we 4 years down the line of President Hakainde Hichilema?
I remain a very disappointed person, to tell you the truth. I woke up at 04 to vote for UPND. Now, I am one of them who was clapping. Innocent tired bruises here, clapping when the president read his speech. Go back, you are fouls.
The first inaugural speech.
The inaugural speech.
Right.
That was wonderful. It was perfect. And I said, for the first time, God has answered our prayers that this man is going to deliver. But can he read his speech again? Can he fulfill his promises? So 4 years. Are we talking about 4 years? Yeah, 4 years has done. What has been fulfilled? According to what they promised the people of Zambia. Now, it is a trend now in Zambia that people cheat themselves to power. If you ask me what I mean by that, is that
What do you mean there? I want you to amplify further. Cheat themselves to power.
cheat themselves or cheat people to power is this campaign of where you stand at a platform and promise the people what you are going to do. And you become so careless in talking that you promise things that are not feasible, as if you are God. And when you start making promises, people are clapping and people vote for you. When you get into power and you forget about your promises, our laws to impeach you are not there. Then you become a president for 5 years. So you cheat yourself to power. You become a president who never fulfills what he said. And sad to say that in our country, this has happened from time immemorial. Maybe we can exempt Dr. Kaunda. He messed up during the end of his rule. But we can exempt him because he was the founding father and we got independence. He never campaigned the way other people are campaigning. What he was campaigning for was for us to gain freedom. Now, what were we told when the campaign promises were being made? We were being told a lot of things. Load shedding will be a thing of the past. Mirimiu will come to 50 kwacha. We were being promised that job opportunities will open in Zambia. We were being promised a lot of things that have not been fulfilled. So 4 years has gone. We are still quarreling with the opposition. 4 years has gone. We are still making rhetorics and making rhetorics and just making promises. 4 years has gone. We still have the street kids on our streets here. That was one of the promises. We were promised state farms. Every province was going to have state farms so that the cost of milling could go down. Where are they? Where are the state farms now? Have you seen any state farm around? No, we have not seen that. We are yet to look and look and look and look until we see that. And I've been looking and looking. I put on glasses. I can't see a farm anywhere. Innocent. There is no farm. There are no state farms. we've been promised a lot of things. I had an opportunity to talk to the president personally before he became president. Actually, I communicated to him. He's a friend, he's a colleague. And I'm saying this not to create enmity, but these are some of the things that we recommended. The army in Zambia, we have the national service in Zambia, we have the prisoners in Zambia, we have the ZNS in Zambia, practicing war every time in a country where there is no war. Yeah, why can't they practice agriculture? Why can't they practice cleaning up the streets? Why can't they practice removing the street children out of the streets? We have engineering schools at the University of Zambia. We have engineering schools at CBU. You go to an engineering school right now, called engineering school. You have to go with a boat because there is a lot of water on the floor because all the toilets are leaking. Where is the engineering there? The road at CBU that leads to the engineering school is the one that has potholes. Now I thought engineering was also part of making that strip of road for exams and seeing how we can do better. Wow. So what is our disease in Zambia? Wow. What do we suffer from innocent? Why are we poor?
Tell me.
Up to now. Why are we still struggling as a country that has resources, as a country that has a lot of things to do? Is the country on autopilot or what are we doing? Do we have leaders? Then you come and open Parliament TV and listen to what those MPs are saying and talking. A lot of nonsense, sorry to say that. Some of the things they say are not to develop the country. All the MPs are now in Lusaka. They are not in Shuangan. They are not anywhere near their constituents. They are not representing their people. They are representing themselves. What kind of politicians do we have in Zambia? I knew to pray that one day God will give us a good leader who's going to deliver, who's going to be humble, a humble servant, who's going to fulfill their promises.
God will give us a leader one day who's going to fulfill the promises and address the concerns and the desires of many Zambians. We've got a President Akende Shema here, who stayed in the opposition together with the UPND from 1998, 1989, thereabout. The UPND was formed, and the President Akende Shema took over the party from Anderson Kambera Mazoka. Yes. They have been in the opposition for 20 years.
They have been in the opposition for 20 years.
Exactly. Yeah. And when the UPND came into power in 2021, like you mentioned, you listened to his first speech at Community House. You also listened to his speech, his inaugural speech you've just talked about.
I have kept it, actually.
Yes, and he said Zambia will be a different country. Zambia will now unite for the first time. Today you are still lamenting. You as a father, as a person who speaks on behalf of the people, you are saying things are not okay.
They are not.
Would you say things are more worse today than they were under the PF, MMD, as well as UNIP?
Our instincts and what we people, God made us with this instinct of developing every time, okay? Right. Yeah, if innocent, when we wake up tomorrow, we have to be better than yesterday. Right. And every day, we should always develop. There was a cry when Bill 7, the Constitution, I praised him, I praised HH, and I sent him his speech to say, I have praised you for listening to the people of Zambia. Let this be a consultative constitution. I personally praised him. I personally sent him the speech, and I praised him. And many people in the UPND were happy with my words then, because I said he has listened to the cries of the people. Now, in some areas, unemployment has really gone up. We have a lot of young people on the streets. We had young people on the streets in the PF, and this was my cry from time the PF was in power. You heard of our program when I was fired from Radio Chengelo from airing that program, the social teaching of the church, and I was talking about street kids. I have talked about that. Things are not better. Corruption in the traffic police, it has gone up. It was there in the PF, but now what are the police doing on our streets? Stealing. These policemen now we have, most of them are thieves. We have thieves as policemen. You want me to repeat that?
Please do.
We have thieves as policemen in Zambia. They are stealing on the street, and now they are doing it openly. Now, is this a cartel where it is not seen by the Inspector General of Police? It is not seen by people who can handle that corruption? We are now in the time of AI. This vice continues. We are now in a process where I can default. They can capture my license plate. I go to put my insurance on the car. They can get back their money. After all, that will go to the government immediately. Why should I stand on the road and negotiate with a policeman? Go in the street right now, and if you say the country is okay, if you go in the street and see all those young people, 5-year-olds on the street, what are they doing there? And I'm not saying you start feeding those young people. At least they would have given them an orientation. Save the people, save the children. Zambia was here. It has since gone away. Taking care of street children and so forth. Load shedding did not change. We said it will change. It became worse, and it became more, and it became even worse. The prices of commodities, prices of fuel, everything became worse. Now, the trend in Zambia again, you will see. When we come close to election time in 2026, don't we have 1 year? We are staying. We are saying maybe a bit less 1 year.
Yeah.
We are going to elections. You will see. This is when the dual carriageway from Lusaka to Ndola will finish. This is when prices will start going down of commodities. This is when certain things, just to plastic it, plastic things to say, oh, this has changed, this has changed. This is when we are going to do that. We are in an era where freedom of association was curtailed. I was one of them. You introduced me as such, who has been. I have faced arrests. I have. It's not just that which was published. I was threatened again to say we are coming to pick you wherever you are, and I had to shift from where I was to go to another place. But all these things were happening because my freedom was being curtailed.
Who threatened you?
Well,
Who threatened you?
You know, I don't even want to go into details. These are people who talk and who phone you, who write messages at you, who say things. If you really go to Facebook, you'll find all those things. I have been threatened in many areas. I don't know if I can say this one threatened me or this one. I think we leave it there. I don't want to go to court at the end of this interview. But again, the question was, is it better now? The PF lacked in a way. They lacked because sometimes they had hooligans controlling the nation, the so-called Bakomando. We had people like Davis Muira, who would give speeches about grabbing land freely, who would portray corruption freely. We had bad leaders then. We had a lot of things. We had these politicians. We had people who stole money. We had a lot of financial things in Ministry of Health and all those things, and so forth. So what we are looking for again is not a blame game, right? Innocent. Is it what is wrong with us Zambians? When are we going to have a leader who's going to fulfill his promises? What is wrong with us? I don't want to say black people. It will sound racist. Yeah, I want to say what is wrong with us Zambians? What is wrong with us young people, the young people out there?
We have the current leader right now in the name of President Hakainde Hichilema. Don't you think that is closing that void you're talking about? Or is answering that desire you're talking about?
Innocent. What I want to say is that President Hakainde has tried in some ways. But he's not. Some people will tell me, no, the president is okay. But those who surround him. And these are the scapegoats that we have every time. No, the president is okay, but it's because there are people who are surrounding him who are innocent.
Bad advisors.
Why don't you become the president one day so that you can chase away all the bad advisors? I mean, they say birds of the same feather flock together. If I come back to Bemba, I will say, when Dana Angoshe, no Kumubeya, Eumubeya. You know what that means, eh? You can't flock with thieves. You can't flock with people who are not governing. You can't. Where is the inspection part of it? Because even in government offices, you will find people who are just lying there not doing anything. You will find people who are getting taxpayers' money without doing anything. Who is inspecting that?
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.